Flo Dhwani, a special film fest concluded today, marking the second day of its 9th edition at Guru Keluharan Mahapatra Odissi Research Centre, Jayadev Vihar, Bhubaneswar. Today's program initiated with Coastal Diary, documentary by Aina, followed by an interesting panel discussion on climate change impacting the lives of people with disability.
ध्वनि चलचित्र उत्सव हूँ क्षुद्र चलचित्र सब जो माने करती भिन्नक्षम लोक मान उपरे
Film are important tools of communication.
Even people with disabilities are affected by climate change, and
Climate change affects people with disabilities is an undertold story.
and this is the 9th edition of this festival. तो प्रति थर फेस्टिवल किसी फिल्म प्रतियोगिता को अच्छे और किसी फिल्म जोटा प्रतियोगिता हुए ना कि स्क्रीनिंग हुए से भाया थाए तो वर्ष पखापाखि 40टा सिनेमा आम पाइचु ता भर पखापाखि 22टा सिनेमा हूँ जो मैंने प्रतियोगित अंशग्रहण कर अलग मानकर प्रतियोगितामूलक नुहे तो यू फिल्म गुड़िक स्क्रीनिंग भी होची ता छड़ा आमर विभिन्न प्रकार पैनल डिस्कशन रही तो गतकाली पैनल डिस्कशन थिला जो मैंने गतकाली सब सिनेमा देते 2011 मसीह आरंभ करके आज पर्यंत से गोटे पैनल डिस्कशन थिला जे प्रथम थर कर भिन्नक्षम लोक मान इश्यूज को लेकिन सिनेमा कले कौड़ी भाव अनुभूति थिला जर्नी को भाया थिला तो ये बाबद गोटे डिस्कशन होता जो सूर्यदेव थे आम सिनेमा जगत हिस्टोरियन सूर्यदेव.
The film has been a tool to record the devastating state of affairs which has caused by climate change and impacted the disabled people across coastal Odisha and how they have been struggling and what is their how do they are living after that. That is a major concern, and the whole world should look into it regarding how we can bring a change in their life, because these little communities are disappearing. The world must listen to the voices of these little communities.
because even people with disabilities are affected by climate change and the shift in the weather conditions that we are seeing. We are seeing hot temperatures and cold temperature, very hot temperatures and cooler winters. We are seeing more floods, unprecedented rainfalls, untimely rainfalls and so on. But even within that, all the communities are affected. But within that, people with disabilities are also affected. So that's what we want to highlight.
Person with disability जो माने जमते अपन को करूँचे like it affects you, it affects them, but it affects them in different manners. It doesn't affect them the same way. For instance, I was giving one example of heat wave. Heat wave for a person with spinal injury or multiple sclerosis is very the impact is too much, much more than it would impact you. So that kind of thing is taking place. So it specifically differently, but not that it doesn't impact them. It does.
So far, I've only been in Odisha for less than 2 months, and I'm staying until the end of April. I've been meeting with people with disabilities, advocates, academics, traveling around the state to find out the ways that disaster risk reduction has been made accessible and inclusive for this community. And I've visited cyclone shelters in Ganjam. I've visited neighborhoods in Puri that were affected by Cyclone Fani back in 2019. So I'm trying to collect as many different viewpoints as possible about how people with disabilities are being kept safe here in Odisha, which is India's most impacted state due to the effects of climate change.
Right now we saw the discussions and the topics were so intriguing, like what would happen if there is a cyclone in the coastal belt and everybody is getting warning through radio and through TV, but the people with disabilities who cannot hear, cannot see, how will they know a problem is coming? Is there any kind of preparation for those kind of, is any kind of way to let them know through sign language? Such topics and much more were discussed today. And also there are multiple movies, short films that is being showcased today, and such things have been done in putting an awareness to this specific topic, like what kind of impact the world and everyone is having on the disabled people, not only the global warming or whatever the climate change, not only the climate change, but also how the world looks toward the disabled people. such was the event today. With camera person Pankaj, this is Saurav from Orissapost Live.